Hello, my friends. Have you ever stood at the edge of something you truly wanted? Your heart racing, hands shaking, fear whispering, what if I fail? Now, imagine choosing in that exact moment to believe in yourself instead. Imagine turning fear into fuel. This is the story of Kai, a young dreamer with trembling hands and a heart full of hope. It began with one soccer tryout, but it turned into a powerful lesson that would change his entire life. Because the truth is simple, yet life-changing. Mindset is everything. And once you truly understand that, your entire world begins to shift. So sit back, feel the heartbeat of this story, and remember, your greatest strength lives not in your muscles, your grades, or your talent, but in the way you think. Let's begin. Kai stood at the edge of the school courtyard, his heart pounding like a drum. The morning sun cast long shadows of classmates hurrying to class, laughter mixing with the snap of backpacks. Today was the big tryout for the soccer team. Kai had dreamed of wearing that blue and white jersey since he was 6 years old, kicking a ball in his small backyard and imagining thunderous applause. But today, as he watched the coach call out names, doubt crept in like a dark cloud. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? His friend Aisha gave him a quick smile and a thumbs up. She believed in him, but belief, Kai realized, begins from within. Just play your game, she whispered. Kai nodded, though his hands trembled. He stepped onto the field, heart heavy. On the sideline, his older brother Omar, who had once faced the same challenge, met his eyes. Omar nodded once, firmly, as if passing a secret. At that moment, Kai felt a spark inside him, an ember of hope. He tucked away his fear and decided, I will give my best. The whistle blew. Kai sprinted, kicked, defended. Each touch of the ball felt electric. He missed a pass, stumbled, but with each mistake he made a silent promise. I will learn. I will grow. By the end of the trial, sweat dripped from his brow, legs burned, but his spirit soared. He walked off the field, uncertain if he'd made the cut, but proud of how he played. He had chosen courage over fear. That afternoon, Kai found the tryout list pinned to the coach's board. His heart pounded again, but this time with excitement. His name glowed under the letters, selected for junior varsity. He had done it. His smile felt as bright as the sun. But more important than the victory was the lesson he carried. Mindset is everything. After the tryouts, Kai discovered something surprising. Being on the team meant more than just playing soccer. It meant early morning practices, extra drills, and pushing limits he never thought possible. The first few weeks were tough. When his muscles ached and the drills felt endless, an old voice in his head whispered, "You're not cut out for this." A part of him believed it. But another part, fueled by the victory of making the team, fought back. I can do this. I can improve. One rainy afternoon, Coach Rivera gathered the team under the sheltered benches. Water dripped from the roof, and players shivered in their damp jerseys. Coach spoke in a calm voice. Today, I want you all to think about one thing, your mindset. Do you believe you can win, or do you believe you will lose? The mind shapes reality. If you think you can't, you won't. If you think you can, you will find a way. Kai gazed at his teammates. Some looked nervous, others excited. In that moment, Kai felt the truth of the coach's words settle deep in his chest. He remembered his missteps on the field, the times he almost gave up, and how choosing to believe had changed everything. He squared his shoulders. Rain pattered around them like applause. Mindset is everything, he whispered to himself. After practice, Kai stayed behind for extra drills. Every time he felt tired, he whispered one word: possible. He pictured himself controlling the ball, passing with precision, scoring goals. Each visualization filled him with energy. When he finally left the field, drenched and exhausted, he felt stronger than ever, not just in body, but in mind. At home, Kai's father noticed the change. Over dinner, he smiled and said, "You've grown this month. I see something different in you." Kai nodded. "Coach says mind shapes reality," he replied. "I'm learning to believe I can do more than I ever imagined." His father placed a hand on his shoulder, pride shining in his eyes. A month into the season, the junior varsity team faced their toughest opponent, the Lincoln High Panthers, a team known for speed and skill. The stadium lights glowed under the early evening sky as families filled the stands. Kai's heart thumped. The scoreboard tipped to their favor early on. Panthers 1, Warriors 0. A hush fell over the home crowd. In the locker room at halftime, the coach spoke with intensity. "We're down by 1, but that's nothing. Your mindset right now will decide this game. Do not think of the goal we conceded. Think of the goals we can score. You are capable. Trust in yourselves. Trust in each other." Kai looked around at his teammates. Aisha, who always raced down the wing. Marcus, whose strong kicks surprised opponents. Shreya, whose laughter made the team lighter. And even Omar, who had come as a volunteer to watch. They all looked at Kai with expectant eyes. He swallowed, took a deep breath, and said, "We got this. Let's show them what we're made of." Nods all around. Back on the field, the Warriors attacked. Kai chased every loose ball, slid to steal passes, passed with crisp accuracy. The crowd's cheers grew louder as the Warriors equalized. Then, with only minutes to go, Kai found himself with the ball at his feet near the corner of the field. 2 defenders approached. He could hear his heartbeat. Old doubt crept in, but then he remembered. You are possible. He feinted left, burst right, crossed the ball to Marcus, who volleyed it into the net. Goal. The stadium erupted. When the final whistle blew, Warriors 2, Panthers 1, Kai felt tears mix with sweat. He had not only won a game, he had tamed his fears with belief. That night, after the trophy presentation, Kai lay in bed staring at the ceiling. He replayed the plays and the coach's words. Mindset is everything. It wasn't just a phrase, it was a key that unlocked a door inside him. Weeks turned into months. Kai carried his new mindset beyond soccer. In math class, when a problem looked impossible, he whispered, "Possible," then tackled it step by step. In art, when a painting tricked him with its complexity, he reminded himself to learn from each stroke. Even at home, when he and his sister argued over chores, he chose to see the good in her and talked kindly instead of snapping back. One day, the school announced a science fair. Kai loved science, but had never dared to enter a competition. He worried about judgment and failure. But something inside him stirred, an ember of courage. He called Aisha. "Let's do it together," he said. "We can learn and grow, no matter what happens." Aisha smiled, and together they formed a team. They chose to build a simple, solar-powered car. Many technical challenges lay ahead: wiring the motor, testing solar panels, adjusting angles. At times, they felt stuck, but each time frustration hit, they spoke the magic word: possible. They asked for help, read guides, tested hypotheses. In the end, their car ran smoothly under the sun. At the fair, they nervously presented to judges. They didn't win first place, but they won a special prize for perseverance. More importantly, they discovered that mindset, once trained, sparks creativity, courage, and joy. Kai's journey spread quietly through the school. Marcus, inspired by Kai's midpoint comeback in the big game, joined the track team. Shreya, who once feared public speaking, volunteered to lead a poetry reading, whispering "possible" before each line. Even teachers noticed the change. Mrs. Lee, the history teacher, started each class with a short story about someone who overcame doubt. An athlete, an artist, an entrepreneur, always ending with, "Mindset is everything." At the end of the school year, Kai sat in the auditorium for graduation. He listened to speeches about achievements and journeys. When his turn came, he stood at the podium, heart steady. He recalled the boy who doubted himself at tryouts, the player who chose courage over fear, and the student who spoke possible into every challenge. He looked at his classmates and said, "We all face moments when fear knocks at our door. We can let it in, or we can stand firm and choose belief. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. If you fill it with possibility, you will find doors where others see walls. Mindset is everything. Play your game, chase your dream, and remember, you are possible." The audience rose in applause. Kai's chest swelled not with pride, but with quiet joy. He had learned that attitude shapes action, and action shapes life. Years later, Kai sat in a crowded lecture hall at university. The lecture was about psychology and motivation. As the professor spoke about growth mindset, Kai smiled. He had lived that truth. His journey from a nervous tryout to inspiring others had taught him more than any textbook could. After class, a younger student approached. Her eyes shone with excitement. "I heard you play soccer for the school team. How did you do it? I'm so scared of trying new things." Kai paused, remembering the coach's words under a rainy afternoon, the whisper of possible, the roar of the crowd. He placed a hand on her shoulder and said, "Mindset is everything. Begin by believing you can. When you feel fear, think, 'I am possible.' Take small steps. Celebrate each win. Learn from each mistake. One day, you will look back and see how far a single thought can carry you." As he watched her walk away, Kai realized that his own story had become part of something bigger, a ripple of possibility spreading through the world. And it all began with a single choice: to believe. Across fields, classrooms, and homes, one truth remains clear. Mindset is everything. It shapes our view of the world, guides our actions, and kindles the spark of achievement. When we choose to see challenges as chances, to whisper possible in the face of doubt, we unlock our greatest power, the power of belief. In that belief lies the courage to begin, the strength to persist, and the joy of growth. Your story, like Kai's, is waiting to be written. Remember, you are possible.